Hi, Cancer. This is Jeffrey. This is Ripecolor. This is your reading for the year for 2023, the year of 2023. No, 2023. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, press the bell for notifications. I'm so grateful to finally get to the 2023. I've been wanting to for weeks. So I offer private readings. I also offer IET. There's a more detailed description of what IET is on my Feast of Guadalupe video, which I just put out yesterday or 2 days ago. So I have okay. How am I going to put it into it? Maybe what loves you is right in front of you. All right. So I used to know this queen. Anyway, Norton. He was older. He was a bit of an oddball. I mean, everyone I know is an oddball. I mean, I'm pretty odd myself. And if you're not really kind of an oddball, like you're really not that interesting to me. So in any case, he always used to, not always, but I remember him one time saying, he said, don't pay attention to the one you're looking at. Pay attention to the one who's looking at you. Because, sometimes in our lives, it's like, oh, well, I'm going to try to go after this thing or this dream or this, that sort of, I don't want to say it's out of my reach, but it's like, sometimes you reach for something or you think you wanted something and then you get it and you're just like, what am I going to do with this? And then like right in front of you, there's something that's really loving and kind. And, this could be a person or a situation or whatever. And it's like, but it was right in front of you the whole time, loving you. And you're like, oh, well, I want something else, a little bit like that. Right. So the example that I was thinking of, I mean, obviously it could be a person, but like, let's say you wanted a certain car, right? And you're saving your money to get that car. And, maybe it's a little bit above your budget. Maybe it's a little bit like, maybe it goes too fast and you don't really live in a place you could really drive that fast. It's a little bit like, kind of doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? It's like, I want a boat, but I don't live near the water, which I understand, believe me. And then, like your neighbor or your brother-in-law says, I'm getting a new car and mine's still in good shape and I'll give you a really good price and it gets good mileage and it runs and it's like, it's right there. And then if you buy that car from your brother-in-law, your neighbor or whatever, it's like, you're going to have an extra $10,000 to like, I don't know, go on vacation, improve the house, put it away, whatever. Like that's what I feel it's like it might be right in front of you. It's a little bit like love the one you're with. A little bit like that. Right? A little bit love the one you're with. A little bit of that. If I sing, you'll just unsubscribe. But I don't think it's just a relationship. I think it's something else. It might be your job. It might be like where you're living. It's like, can I cherish what I have? Can I cherish what I have instead of being in this place of, and all these messages are for me too. It's not like I'm sitting in judgment, believe me. Can I cherish what I have instead of, oh, well, I have to live in a mansion or, I need another room in the house or I wish I were 5 pounds thinner or whatever. Can I cherish what I have and, and appreciate it for what it is? That's your little mini message for 2023. Interesting. All right. I'm going to go get coffee because I'm not hyper enough. All right. That's interesting. All right. I always say that. I start with the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords, well, so the Queen of Swords is a really interesting character. She is very clear. She's very clear in where she wants to go. She knows where she's been, but she's very forward looking. She's very forward looking, and it's interesting. She's the only queen. I mean, the Queen of Pentacles is sort of in like 3/4, and you know, the Queen of Cups is really kind of lost in her own little world in a way, right? She's like deep in her emotion. But this one, it's like she's turning away from us. She's on her way toward her road, toward her destiny, toward her vision, toward her okay. And she's very clear. And then I have the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is really about healing, really about intuition. Then I have the lovely Sun. And can I see my experiences as healing? Can I see the experiences, whether they be good or bad, as something that healed me and nourished me and gave me an understanding, an emotional understanding? Can I see that really clearly? Can I see that as nourishing as opposed to seeing it as something that was negative? Can I see that as a nourishment? That's, yeah. Yeah. Wow. It takes, let me tell you, um, just like everybody else, I've been through, disappointing relationships, situationships, whether it be friendship, business, whatever. And it's really easy to put on the armor and to say, oh, I got nothing out of that, and I have to move forward. And I get it, believe me. But there's another piece of that like it brought me to where I am today. It brought me to where I am today. And sometimes like something that's didn't go the way I wanted it to go. Sometimes now I'm really going off. Like the heartache helped me to understand myself in a more profound way, and what my boundaries are, and what my expectations are, and what my hopes are in a clearer way. And it helped me to like have more compassion for myself and for others. That's what I'm getting. That's nourishing. Even though it was like an uncomfortable weirdness, I know I'm going off a whole tangent. Sorry. Not sorry. It's just the way it is. Yeah. I need to sit and listen to my intuition more. I need to sit and listen to my intuition more. And to really understand things from both angles, from all angles, in order to be fully healed. Here she is. Look at this. Whoop. This one's looking that way, that one's looking this way. I feel like there's a new balance coming in. There's a new understanding of maybe some uncomfortable situations in the past that really made you want to be, because the Queen of Swords can be a very cold, very sharp at the tongue. That's her negative side. And my understanding, like the Queen of Swords is a woman of loss. She's a widow or a divorcee. And sometimes that can lead to like a bitterness, right? Not always, but sometimes it could be like a sense of like a closed, right? And it's this energy, like I said in the beginning, of like, I don't know, a Maserati, whatever. Yeah, I know nothing about cars. Like, oh, that Maserati, oh, no, and I can't really, get it. But like, here comes your brother-in-law with like a fabulous Mercedes or Volvo or whatever the hell it is. It's like the gift was there all along. Sometimes people break our hearts, or they leave, and or it changes, and it's very easy to put on the armor and to say, oh, well, I'm never gonna, but sometimes when pain comes up, it allows us to like cry our tears and heal, and to understand ourselves in a really, in a more profound, more well-rounded, more expansive way. Part of the IET that I do is about forgiveness, right? And I'm not forgiving people for their sake. I'm forgiving them for my sake, because I don't really want to carry around like this big piece of heavy luggage that, I'm not going to wear anything in the luggage anyway. You know what I mean? It's sometimes it's like I just need to like forgive it for my own sake, so that I don't have to carry it anymore. Right? What they do with it is whatever they do with it. But it informed me, and um, I've had a lot of heartache this year actually, and this 2022, and it got me in touch with my own strength. It got me in touch with maybe having too high expectations of other people, of myself. It's like a pail of water, and maybe I needed to wake up a little bit. Yeah, that's how you take your power back. That's how you take your power back. That's how you stabilize yourself. And to realize and to cherish what is nourishing you, right? Oh, well, it's not nourishing me in the way I want to be nourished. It's like, you know, um, it's almost like, in a way, like the spoiled child. In a way, I don't want that. It's like, it really, if I keep on kowtowing to that child inside of me and say, oh, you can have whatever you want, and said, this is what I made for dinner, and that's what you're going to eat. And if not, you're not going to eat anything. It's not like I made something allergic. There's something more loving in that. Yeah, this is about establishing something new. This is about changing the organization in your mind. Changing the organization in your mind. Another 5. Um, Letting go of the self-tyranny of, it has to be that and that car, otherwise, right? It has to be that and that job. It has to be that relationship with that person. No. It's like, I sometimes I paint myself into a corner, because it's like I only will accept one thing and one thing only, instead of seeing what's around me that's beautiful and lovely and kind and brilliant and nourishing. Yeah. You've already manifested it. You've already manifested everything that you desire. It's right in front of you. You might have to look a little harder. You might have to look a little harder. It might not, because, we live in this society where it's like, the perfect body and it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. So today I waxed the floor, not a wax, I mopped the floor. And like right after I mopped it, it's like, oh my God, you missed that spot, you missed this spot. It's like, I'm not remopping the floor, you know. Like the next time I mop it, I'll pay attention to those spots. I mean, they're not like big black spots. Um, it's like, it's clean. I know it's clean. I used the pine stuff. I mopped it, I vacuumed it before. I know it's clean. And, it's like, oh, well, it has to be perfect. It has to be exactly what I want. It's like, it doesn't really work like that. It just doesn't kind of work like that. The most memorable things are the ones that are not perfect. I know it's an oddball message. I get the Page of Swords. Page of Swords to me is Archangel Michael. And cut out in your mind what limits you from seeing the love and the beauty that's all around you, instead of, oh, I'm dreaming of, it has to be. I don't think that's good for any of us. That's my little message for you. That's my message. I used to sort of judge my own messages. And believe me, there are certain messages that I like giving better than others, but I have to read them as I see them, and I have to, like, that's my job. Job. Blessings.